we're gonna have some fun. So I'm just really proud of you for investing in yourself. It's the smartest thing you could ever do. It's an ongoing journey. It's never done, right? Never, ever done. I do teach on 4 different skill sets. Today you get to sit in on one. My first skill set that I teach, and of course I'm working with it all the time now, is mindset. The second one is communication skills. Because again, your business doesn't grow because of your product, your service, or your program. Your business grows because of your ability to connect with people. Your ability to read people, understand how they perceive you, and how you can speak their language. Because we only do business with people we know, like, and trust. If you run over me, I'm not gonna do business with you. If you're too quiet and I get bored, I'm gonna move on. If you're so detail-minded that I can't follow you, I'm not gonna do business with you, right? If you're so flighty and you never shut up, I'm not gonna do business with you. So 2 of the main skills that I teach, one is personality profiling, and it's completely different than anything you've ever done before. It's a kick in the pants, it's so fun. And the other was learning how to ask the right questions at the right time, in the right way, so that the person I'm talking with, not to, but with, says, really? Tell me more. Or what about me? Wouldn't we all love that? What about me? Tell me more. So this program is called Are You My Flock? Because birds of a feather flock together. Look around your circle of friends. Chances are they're either opposite of you and love and understand you, or they're very much like you. Right? How many of you have done personality profile tests? Millions of them, right? Okay, so let's just name a few of them. Name a few personality profile tests. Okay.
Enneagram, Strength Finders, Colby, Calicut,
Couple more?
Calicut.
Yep. Anybody done the bank code?
What?
Bank code? You haven't done that one?
Yep.
DISC?
Just, yeah.
All right. How many of you could stand up here and teach it? You could tell me exactly what it was and make sense of it. No? You're gonna love this. This is so much fun. All right, so the reason I did birds is because my daughter got me started bird watching probably 12 years ago. She had to take a class at college that was an outdoor class. So she's like, fine, I'll take walking, hiking, you know. So we started hiking, and she's one of those that does it all or nothing. So we were hiking everywhere, and she was studying plants and studying birds, and pretty soon she's teaching me about birds. And I realized one day, you know what? We see birds everywhere, right? You see birds everywhere. You see them in the trees, you see it in the fields. You might not be watching them, but we see them. So they're very, very normal, very easy for us to relate to. And as I looked at that, I realized there's basically 4, we break almost every kind of personality profiling into 4, right? Remember what those 4 are? So you've got your leader, right? You've got your analytical, you've got your supporter, and you've got your social. Does that sound pretty normal? They're the basics.
Yeah.
They're your basics. And then you break them down more than that. You look at strengths, you look at characteristics, but these are your basics. So when I looked at that and I looked at birds, I went, oh, that's so easy. Watch this. If you take these same 4, now when we get together for class, you actually get to do the complete profile. So you get to kind of go, oh my gosh, that makes sense. I see where I fall. The first thing you would ever do when you take that test is go, oh my God, I wish so-and-so could see this. I wish you would tell so-and-so, right? Wish you'd tell my kid, wish you'd tell my husband, I wish you'd tell my wife, I wish you'd, right? Who can you fix?
No.
Yourself.
You.
Ourselves.
Just yourself, yeah.
You can only fix yourself. And I tell you this because when you learn this, you're gonna wanna go out and tell somebody. Now I know why you do what you do because I get it. I know who you are. You're gonna go, what the heck are you talking about? Right? Have you ever told your kids something and they just didn't listen, and then they went to the friend's house and the friend's mom told them, and they came home and said, guess what, so-and-so said, and you're thinking, I told you that 20 times, right?
I have adult friends like that.
Yeah. So the closer you are to someone, usually the less likely they are to hear something new from you, to an extent. And here's why. Your friends and family see you in this box. This is who you are, right? You are a cog in the wheel of their life. If you change that, their wheel's gonna go lump-de-lump-de-lump. So you have to know that when you're an entrepreneur, when you get started in business, don't necessarily expect all your family and friends to be your best supporters. Some of them will be, but some of them won't. Same thing goes when you say, I want to teach somebody why they should talk to me a certain way, right? You just have to change the way you talk to them. Just like Corinne was saying, you change from the inside, and then you will cause that ripple effect in your world. So here's what we're gonna play with. Do all of you have a piece of paper? All right. So I'm gonna give you the names of birds, and I want you to help me with this. The first one I wanna talk about is raptors. Now raptors are eagles, hawks, falcons, vultures, owls. They're meat eaters, right? Top of the food chain. Give me, I want you on your piece of paper, write down 3 words that come to mind when you think of a raptor. You think of an eagle, you think of a hawk, you think of an owl or vulture. Write down 3 words. So, give me a word. Somebody, give me one.
Spotless.
Okay, I just heard aggressive. I'm in a hurry today, so it might be spelled wrong. What's
Loud.
Free. Free. Loud. Is that what I heard?
Determined.
Determined.
Survivalist.
Dress came up.
Independent.
Planning.
Powerful. I heard another one out there.
Strength. Somebody said
Strength, okay, keep going.
Attention.
Noble. Noble. Attention.
Fierce and intimidating.
Okay, thanks.
Survivalist, that's a good one. That's what Louise said.
Oh, yeah. You didn't put down
Survivalist.
Or
Okay.
opportunist, maybe?
Opportunity, okay,
It's
I'm
okay
gonna
to
take
stand
that
on
one and
the
I'll
turn.
show you why.
I'm loud. I'll just talk loud.
Okay, see the variety on here? This is the first clue of where you personally fall. Because a raptor, an eagle is never going to identify themselves as an opportunist. An eagle is never going to identify themselves as intimidating. Right? An eagle sees themselves, they won't ever call themselves aggressive or loud. But they're going to see themselves as determined, driven, independent, powerful, noble, definitely free. They like their space. So think about it. Where do you see eagles? The sky, up in the trees. How many do you usually see at a time? One, maybe 2. If they're raising young, you might see 3 or 4, right? Eagles are territorial, right? Give me some space. Have you ever walked into a room and you could feel that from somebody? You walk into networking and you go up to meet somebody, you could just feel this fence around them. Right? You know that if you hold out your hand, you really hope not to pull back a bloody stone. Right? These are your raptors. Your raptors are your leaders. Your raptors are the most powerful flock out there. They're the top of the food chain. Now, how many of you know what a great blue heron is? Okay. So on your piece of paper, write down 3 words when you think of a great blue heron. Those of you who don't know what a great blue heron is, they're those tall, skinny, blue-gray birds. Where do you usually see them?
In water.
By
Swamp.
By the water, in a field. What are they doing?
Grazing.
Sort of.
Hanging out.
They're hanging out. They're standing. And they stand. How long are they going to stand there? Forever. Right? They stand.
They're
They
visionaries.
stand. And they stand. Okay, so give me some words. When you think of a heron,
Yeah, graceful.
Tall.
Peace. Regal. Patience. Stable.
backwards there, sorry guys. Anybody can do this.
Strategic.
Okay, couple more.
I think they're a menace.
Menace?
We had a fish pond once.
But they're pretty determined to get the fish.
Any other words that you wrote down that are just not up here? Determined, okay.
They're pretty inclusive.
What did you say, inclusive?
Yeah, I see them with other species sometimes.
In what way?
Like hanging out like by the river, in Columbia River, they'll be,
Mostly with ducks.
yes, not necessarily other herons, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
inclusive.
Usually when I've seen a heron, I've only seen it by itself, maybe with other species, but I've never seen it with like a group of heron. It's
No,
always
not
like,
at
"Oh,
all.
heron."
But I mean,
Or
they're
loners.
okay. Other types of creatures.
They're not
Okay,
very.
and are they moving?
Not really.
So with this,
Stationary.
right?
Is that the person that you're gonna get a little tired of and
So your herons, if you are a heron, you're going to see them as strategic, patient, elegant, noble, stable. If you're not a heron, or you don't have any of those characteristics, you see them as slow, boring.
you see them as drivers on the road.
So your herons are your analytics, right? They're really good with details. They're really good with, like numbers and graphs and, you know, they're the ones that love programming. So they're your gamers, your programmers, your NASA scientists, your engineers, right? Your CPAs, your accountants, your tax people. They love all that. That's like candy to them, right? Other flocks are like pulling their hair out.
Can I just say, I became a CPA and oh my God, it's so the opposite of who I am.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you come to this training, when you actually get the whole training, you'll be going, oh my gosh, okay, no wonder I don't want to do that. So your herons are your analytics, all right? Herons are very, very patient. Now, they're patient with a process. They're not patient with people. People are stupid. Okay? Your keep me on this if I forget it, but I'm gonna tell you what each of these flocks are really motivated by, okay? Because my goal is not so much to teach you who you are, but my ultimate goal is to teach you how do I speak the language of all 4 flocks, so I can take down that wall. If you cannot speak the language, it's no different. If you were gonna go to Spain for 6 months, would you wanna learn a little bit of Spanish? Find the bathroom, glass of water, catch a taxi, right?
Download the app.
It what?
Download the
app. Right, but even that, you're using it, right? So if you were gonna go to, Germany for a year, would you wanna learn a little bit of the language? It's no different. Now, you cannot use this skill set in a manipulative way. If you do, it will come back and bite you in the butt, right? You have to do it with a true desire to understand where somebody's coming from, to understand how they speak. Because if you speak Spanish and I just speak slower English, can you hear me? But you won't understand me. Right.
You just look weird going.
You
"Yeah,
just
yeah."
look stupid, right? Yeah, you just look stupid. Okay, so that's the whole point of this, is that take the time to get the training, because it will make a massive difference in how you interact with people. The next word I want you to think about is songbird. So on your piece of paper, whoops, I need an N before a G. Songbird, does everybody know what a songbird is?
Oh, songbird. Songbird.
You see songbirds outside your window all the time, right? You see them in the tree. How many do you usually see at a time? Right? How long do they stay?
Not long.
Right? Okay, so write down 3 words when you think of a songbird. 3 words.
Well,
Okay.
social, obviously.
Okay, obviously.
They like to sing.
Okay, musical.
Loud.
Loud.
Graceful. Flighty.
Flighty.
Scattered.
Kind of annoying. Yes.
I'm like, they're fun and
Yeah.
cute.
What did I hear over here? I heard a another word.
Oh, I said, you got it.
Somebody
Fun?
said fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the.
So
ones
apparently
that-
that's me.
Like, oh, happy-go-lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, friendly's fun.
One more.
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
Friendly.
Quick. Yeah, good one. I got more than one, didn't I?
It's
So-
not if they quick.
Your songbirds hang together. Your songbirds are community driven, right? So we're gonna talk about how you identify these four after we get through this a little bit further. But your songbirds love being the center of attention. The number one word you need to remember when you're working with a songbird is fun. If you're talking to a songbird and you don't even put that word in a sentence, they've tuned you out. Okay, they move fast, they're quick, they're loud, they're fun-loving, they're adventurous, right? So you just need to know, who am I talking to and how do I speak that language authentically? Because if a heron sits down to talk to a songbird and starts to identify all of the things that they need to do, I promise you line 3, that songbird is off skiing, you know? Or they're planning their next party, right? Songbird's the one that'll go to 3 parties in one night and be late to every one of them. All right. Okay, back to your piece of paper. Here's your last one.
So is the social?
Yeah, very social. Thank you. Keep me on track. Here's your last one. Write down 3 words when you think of doves.
Very elegant,
Peaceful. Love.
beautiful.
Support.
Giver.
They're very soft to me.
Did you say soft?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Lovely.
Couple more.
Gentle.
Symbolic. What's that one?
Symbolic.
That's a good one. Leave them on.
Tell me what you mean by leave their mark.
You're not constipated. Let's see what we got.
So true. So true, right? So your doves are your supporters. Again, do you see 1 or 2 of them together? How many do you usually see?
2.
Yeah, at least 2, right? Grooming each other, snuggling, right? And again, yeah, they are the symbol of love, right? So these are your support, this is your supportive flock. It's easy to identify. And for some people, they see all of this, the peaceful, the loving, the elegant, the giver. The others, they see this. Like, oh my God, they're so messy and unorganized, right? Or they tell me more than they need to tell me, right? So depending on who you are. Most people see much of this in the dove, but when it comes to the actual personality of the dove and how they communicate, if you think about it, they communicate completely differently. So now I'm going to help you identify, all right? So let's take a look at this. You've got your 4 flocks. So you've got your raptors, you got your herons, you have your songbird, and your dove, right? 2 of these flocks are task-driven, all right? So if you think about it, they are more about what I can get done. If I have my checklist going, they're task-driven. That's their number 1 mode of processing information. Which 2 are task-driven?
The raptor and heron.
That's right. Because, and again, you watch them, right? They both like a little bit of room. Now, there was a difference between your raptor. Your raptor's territorial, right?
Yeah.
Your heron likes a lot of room, but it's not because they're territorial. It's because they're solitary. They need that quiet. Think of your computer programmer, right? They need that solitary quiet. Don't interrupt me. Don't mess with me, right? Because if you do, I'm gonna, not be happy with you. Okay, so 2 of them are relationship driven. That is their number 1 way of processing information. Which 2?
Dove and songbird.
Got it. And again, they're relationship driven with different reasons. So your songbird is relationship driven because they like the fun. They like the involvement. They like the energy. They gain energy from people, right? They want to be noticed. Think of your songbirds, they're colorful, right? Fun, colorful, active, always moving. Your dove, on the other hand, is relationship driven because they want to make a difference. Right? It's not because they want to be noticed. It's because they care, truly care about the people in their lives. They're the ones that you need on board for a cause. Okay, you need these ones to advertise, but you need these ones to clean up after you. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. So if you were gonna plan a party, if you were gonna plan an event, who would you want to head it? There you go. This is your leader. This is the one that's driving the boat.
Depends on the kind of party, doesn't it?
Not usually.
No.
Because if all you've got is a songbird, here's what I'll tell you about the songbird. The songbird is good at advertising, right? But the songbird doesn't know how many cups you need, how many napkins you need, they don't know who, they just know they're gonna have fun, right? This is your marketer. This is your leader, this is the drive of the boat. Now, who's gonna know how many napkins you need and cups you need? That's right, this is your planner. And if you don't have a planner on board, something's gonna fall between the cracks, right? And who's gonna help you set up, welcome people, and clean up? This is your supporter. All right, now I wanna help you identify them. So first thing is your task. Second thing is understanding how they move, what their voice sounds like, how do they dress. First thing you're gonna watch for is voice. So when you hear somebody's voice, you've got two that are going to be fast and two that are gonna be slow. Who's gonna be your fast-paced speakers?
Your songbirds and your leaders.
You're after. So your slow ones are gonna be? And your heron, right? The other thing is watch for the pace. Watch for the pace in the voice. Because a raptor, a heron can sometimes speak up and speak a little bit louder or a little more precisely, but a raptor is gonna be right to the point. Their voice is gonna be pretty direct, pretty right to the point. Their body language is gonna be direct, right? Not a lot of this, direct. And a songbird, the songbird's got just kind of a fun up and down voice. I mean, they talk a little bit loud, but they talk a little bit faster, and there's a whole lot of pace in their voice because it's gonna go up and down. They're a songbird, right? Makes it easy to follow. Your heron is going to be very, very precise. They're going to be clear in their communication. They're going to give you clear statements, not a lot of information, not any more than they think you deserve or need. And they will get right to the point. No fluff. A dove, on the other hand, is going to speak a little softer, and they're going to talk a lot about Uncle Harry's toe and Aunt Matilda's gallbladder, and their children didn't get up this morning and the dog threw up and they had to take a bit of it, right? So their voice is going to kind of have a little bit of an up and down. It's a little bit softer, but the story's definitely going to be like 2 to 3 times longer. So listen for the pace, listen for the volume. Next thing you're going to be watching for is what do they talk about, task or relationship? So who's going to talk task right off the bat? Your raptor and your heron. Who's going to talk relationship? Your dove and your songbird, right? So when you say to someone, how was your morning? And they instantly go, I am so overwhelmed, I've got so much I need to do, I've got a project coming up, right? How was your morning? Oh my gosh, the dog threw up. I have a headache this morning, I don't even know what the kids, right?
Yeah.
This helps you know how to start to adjust your language. Next thing is look at how they're dressed, okay? And this is a fun one. When you think of an eagle, well, how many colors are on an eagle?
3.
3. How many do you normally see? From a distance, what do they look like?
Black and white.
They look black and white, don't they? Guess what? When you watch for your raptors are always going to dress clean, black and white, red and white, blue and black. They're going to dress sharp and clean and classic. Anybody notice what Green had on this morning? Green from the front of the room?
Black.
Watch her. She's always got black on. Raptors love black, it's a powerful color, black, red, white, blue, okay? Your herons. Herons are typically
Great.
some gray, some black, some brown.
Very simple.
Neutrals.
They're gonna always dress conservative. Most of the time. Now, keep in mind, we all have a little bit of everything in us. When you get together with me again and we actually do a profile, whether you take the class or whether you go online and do the online coaching program, you'll get a chance to go through the whole profile and see where your strengths are and get an assessment to know, what you need to learn about how people are perceiving you and how you need to start speaking other languages. You'll learn all that. Your herons typically dress a little more conservative. Suit, button-up top, pants a little bit. My mother would have called them short wire, high water pants, short pants, that's what she always called them. But they're very conservative. You won't usually see a heron at a public meeting in something like knit pants or sweats or, like a pullover, a t-shirt. They just don't. They're not comfortable, okay? Now your songbirds. What do your songbirds love?
Color.
Yeah, color, design, right? So your songbirds are almost always gonna be dressed fashionably. They love fashion, they love trendy, okay? They're gonna do trendy, they're gonna do colors, they're gonna do designs like flowers. You won't find a guy who's not a songbird in a Hawaiian shirt. Like a heron in a Hawaiian shirt. He's gonna feel like he's, out of water. So, and then your doves need to be comfortable, right? So your doves are the ones that are typically gonna wear mitts, they're gonna wear comfy pants, they're gonna wear shirts that they're not clingy, they're not, they don't show every little ripple, they just don't. So you're gonna find them in knits, in flowy dresses, Birkenstocks, you get it, right? Sweats. And then the next thing I want you to watch for, I'm trying to run out of room here, so I'm gonna go back up. Let me go back up. You can remember what they dress like, I hope. If not, you just gotta come to another class. Movement. This is another key. Now, voice, you can catch on the phone. Task versus relationship, you can catch on the phone. You can even see it in emails and texts. You just have to start training your brain to go, oh, what bird am I looking at, right? Movement. Raptors.
Steady, solid.
To the point, drilled, real direct, body language is strong, right? Herons typically will have their hands at their sides or their hands in their lap. They're not a lot of hands in the pockets kind of person. They're not necessarily gonna do this, right? Now a raptor will do this, or this, right? A raptor will do that. When it comes to herons, so they're far more reserved in their movement. Your songbirds are all over the board, right? Think of them, right? Here they're gone, whatever. If you tied a songbirds' hands behind their back, they could not talk. They'd be like stumbling over their words. So you can expect a songbird to have a lot of movement, to talk with their hands. Your doves are protective, right? So your doves will do this. They'll cross their arms, but it's not the stance that a raptor has. It's more the protective, right? When they sit and talk with you, they might have their hands in their lap like this, or they might do this, or they might sit on their hands, okay, right? It's just natural for them. It's comfortable. They're always looking for comfort, always looking to protect themselves. And then the last thing is timing. And this is a fun one. So you got two that are always going to be on time, almost always. Who are they?
The raptor and the heron.
You're right. For two different reasons. The raptor, because their reputation's on the line, right? I don't want to look like I can't hold it together, because there's certain things that are important to a raptor. A heron, because that's how they respect you and that's the respect they expect from you. So if you have a meeting and you know it's a heron or a raptor, be on time. If you know it's a raptor, be on time a couple minutes early. If you know it's a heron, be 10 minutes early. Because by the time you get there on time, you're already late. If you are 5 minutes late, you've pissed them off. Okay? Now, that goes the same for your other two. These two are gonna be late, often late. And that's your, right, your dove and your songbird. So again, for two different reasons. Your dove can be late because somebody sidetracks them. Could you call them, would you? And they've got a list just like the rest of us of things they know they need to do, but they'll drop that list for someone. They'll change what they know they needed to do because somebody needs them. So then they'll end up late because they have a hard time figuring out how much time they need for something, right? Your songbird's late because they have no concept of time.
They have a,
You know,
no
it's
concept.
It's like, I can get that
They're on their
done.
own timetable.
Oh, terribly. I can get that done in my, I get 2 minutes.
They can do one more thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, take one more, or call, take one more phone call. Oh, somebody called. I need to answer the phone, right? Because they don't want to miss anything. Songbirds hate to miss anything. Doves hate to disappoint somebody. Herons hate to be wrong. And raptors hate to be, well, they hate to be wrong, but they hate to be not recognized, valued, acknowledged. Questions? Any questions for me?
I have one. You
Yeah.
said to remind me before the end, was to go back and what motivates.
Oh, yeah. Raptor is motivated by money, recognition, and authority. A heron is motivated by knowledge and education and knowing what they're doing. A songbird is motivated by fun, and a dove is motivated by cause, by making a difference. So if you're not speaking those languages, you're missing out. So these are the things I can do for you. I've coached people when they have trouble at work. I do one-on-one coaching and walk with you through whatever issues are going on, whether it's mindset and communication, because usually they're tied. They're like, oh, that person at work is so blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, who are they? How do they communicate, right? The second one is I love doing team classes, team or staff training. I love that, it's awesome. And I have online for you this entire training. So this entire training is part of what I call my Master Key membership, because I teach from 4 keys. And the Master Key membership helps you with mindset, your communication skills, intentional actions, which means this is, where should I be? This is highly tied to networking. Okay, networking and marketing. And then the 4th one is ongoing education. So I teach on that in this program. You've got a staff of people, you're like, oh Lord, I wish the boss could hear this, right? Or I wish my employees could hear this because I send out a memo and nobody reads it. You can get a 90-day access to the program, which gives you all the Are You My Flock training. So there's an introduction, a video, there's a video on every single flock. So you can go, okay, I'm dealing with a heron, go in and watch the video. You've got PDFs to work with, you've got your profile, your quiz profile to work with, and you have me every week on our Facebook page. We'll deal with something new. The last one is my favorite, because I love retreats. I love nature. The retreat that's coming up is my favorite because it's my way of pulling you away from home, giving you a chance to ride off a vacation, and really have a break from work and from stress. So you get one-on-one, you really get to work with me closely. So if you're interested in that, be sure that you give me that information. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I will send you your personal profile results in the next probably 48 hours.
Thank you, BJ.